What it do, everybody? This is Remy Please of the Flight Room Podcast. This is another episode, the fifth quarter. This is episode 9. Episode 9 with my fellas, Keys.
What's
What it do, Keys?
good? What's good,
What,
Chi?
I'm with Lighthouse.
What it do? What it do?
Hey, this. I guess it's three of us. This is like a 3-man weave. Basketball got hit with some rough shit yesterday. James Harden basically forced his way out of Houston, and now he's a part of the Brooklyn Nets and a big blockbuster 4-team deal. What's your first thoughts on that shit? Initially, what's your first thoughts when you heard that shit?
Well, all right. The first thing I thought about when I saw the trade, I thought, all right, you bring a superstar like James Harden, he playing with Kyrie Irving, he playing with Kevin Durant. Like on paper, it sounds like the great move. The only thing I worry about with that team, they lost Jared Allen. To me, that was a huge loss because he's a young, big man. He's a defensive presence, and they lose a guy like him. It's basically, the Houston Rockets all over again. Small ball. I don't think they have really any other, presence down low. Is DeAndre Jordan, where he at now?
He's still there.
Yeah. Oh, he's still there. I know. I thought he was. Yeah. I thought he left for some reason. But still, outside of that, they still lost a big defensive presence down low. So yeah, I think they'll still be good. They're going to be one of the best teams in the East. They should get to the finals, but I don't know how they're going to compete with the Lakers' size, losing somebody like Jared Allen if they was to go against them in the finals. So that's the first thing I thought about.
I just felt like they gave up a lot. Now, granted that those picks, 4 first-round picks. Now, granted, those may not. Those are probably going to be late first-round picks. So, but still, you're giving up 4 first-round picks,
and then 4 pick swaps.
God, that's just a lot to me. And then the way that you went out was even worse. I just feel like, cause you just, I don't know.
The way he handled the situation.
Yeah, the way he handled the whole situation was just like, if you wanted to leave, if you wanted to bounce, just bounce.
Really think about it. All those first round picks, that shit, pretty much the Nets have to win the championship because you pretty much gave up your whole future to bring this nigga in. So right. They gotta win the championship because if they gave up all those first round picks, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be struggling for a long time, So after that whole era of Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden is over, they're gonna be struggling for a minute, so they gotta win the championship.
And then how long do you actually think Kyrie's gonna stay there? Because Kyrie feel like he kind of
exactly
he's like on the on the outside of wanting to play and not really wanting to play. Like basketball is not absolutely everything to me. Like if he decide to pick up and leave, you think you're gonna win it with KD and Harden?
Nah.
Yeah. And you forged you gave away your fucking future as of right now.
I just think that they gave up they gave up a lot and then more. I feel like it's just like, damn, you just gave up a lot to get somebody who, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I don't want to question this man's loyalty, but at the same time, though, it's like, cause I do question the way that you handle situations where people like Houston was your city, you was there. And then to trash them on the way out the door, basically saying I can't play with these guys, X, Y, and Z. If you wanted to rock, just rock. You ain't have to bring other cats into it. Just you know what I'm saying. If you felt as though deep down you just couldn't win with this team, it's no reason why you should go
just sit out.
With that shit.
Shouldn't you just sit out?
Just sit out. There's a lot of people who do that every single year. Every single year, people get traded, and they may feel a certain way about a team or players on that team, but you don't never hear nothing about that because they don't say that shit. You know what I'm saying? And those are your teammates.
What gives you the fucking brass to say that shit on live TV, cameras on your face, niggas coming in there punching to work every day, play hard and shit, and you sit up there and say I can't win with these guys, man. That's some bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some real beef on the floor.
Go ahead. Yeah, I agree with that. And I say this just off some conspiracy theory shit. Like the way that he was talking at the end of that interview, he was acting as if he already knew that was his last game in Houston. Because remember, he was like,
you're right.
There's no way you can walk back into the locker room like that.
Exactly. So the reason why I said it might have been a conspiracy because remember the NBA be having money invested in these big games, these whoever LeBron playing. So I find it interesting that the day after he plays the Lakers, he gets traded. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we got to make sure that game where LeBron, James Harden, John Wall, all these big names going to be playing. AD going to be playing in this one game. Boom. He what's it called? He did what we needed him to do. He played against LeBron. All right, now he can go to the Nets. You know what I'm
right
saying?
now we can execute the plan. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, because even like John Wall, like the nigga, he was sour leaving Washington, and he didn't speak publicly in a manner that James Harden spoke. Right. So
completely two different exits.
Yeah, and John was beloved in the city. John was beloved in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't see that shit working.
And I say this right: if you put those three personalities together, you with Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, like they're gonna be on some sassy shit with the media like all season, like because them niggas don't fuck
right. That's what I'm saying.
So can you imagine those three together? Them niggas gonna be on some like anti-media revolutionary type shit. Like I'm not so I don't mean it literally like on some black shit, but just also
right.
I am more than an athlete, type shit. I think they're gonna be on that all season.
But don't really be talking about nothing. Maybe Kyrie, but they don't really be talking about nothing for real.
Yeah.
But I like what DeMarcus Cousins said. The nigga said, the other 14 guys in the locker room have done nothing to him. We've only shut up to work like everybody else. It's completely unfair to the rest of the guys in the locker room. Agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it was just one of those, for real, what it was is he was spoiled all them years in Houston with Daryl Morey, Mike D'Antoni. They was spoiling the shit out of him. So his guys left the building. Daryl Morey went to Philly. D'Antoni went to the Nets. And remember, what was the two teams that he wanted to get traded to? The Sixers and the Nets. So it's like his two guys is gone. And they out the building, he probably just felt like, like he was left by himself. So I think once those guys was gone, he was like, yeah, time for me to get up out of here. So I think that's what happened. I think I think D'Antoni, how D'Antoni coach, he give his players the green light. Like, nigga, you can do whatever you want to do if you a scorer. And D'Antoni.
Yeah, but and that's how Harden plays. So like, I think Houston is like in a better position without him now, because like everybody has like a defined role. John Wall, he's the point guard, he's the facilitator. Oladipo, like you gonna go hard at the rim, like you on slash, you gonna do whatever you want. DeMarcus Cousins, you're gonna be the bully. PJ Tucker, you're gonna spread the floor. Like now they can actually play ball, and they're not just watching James Harden tap, step back, three, tap, draw the foul, tap. Like he. And then another thing, this nigga James Harden showed up so fucking this year fat as shit. Like, have you seen this nigga lately? This nigga is fucking fat. Like, he don't look like he don't look like he came. Like, look at this nigga, bro. What the fuck? This is not a two guard right here. I'm sorry, it's not a two guard.
It's not a. Oh man,
I
think it was wilding.
I mean, but even from like an X's and O's perspective, though, like who you think got the better end of the trade?
I think Houston, just with all the picks, and they get Oladipo, and they already traded for John Wall, and they got rid of Westbrook, and Westbrook now has played like 3 of like 12 or some games. Like, I think Houston is on the way up.
Yeah.
Can you pull the trade back up again? Let me see the trade. So that's a
even the Cavs. The Cavs. I mean, they got Jared Allen and they got Andre Drummond. They got they got a little twin tower situation going over there.
Yeah, I like do now. They got some young scorers too.
Taurean Prince is an excellent outside defender, and he can knock down the three here and there. I mean, and they gave up nothing to get these two. They gave up nothing. They was just had a hand in the shit.
Right? Yeah, they was just part of it.
Yeah,
damn, that's crazy.
They gave up a first round to get Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. That's a look. 1 first round instead of fucking 4. Jesus Christ.
He like Shaq said,
it's championship.
Like Shaq said, they gonna have to win that shit.
So
you got your little team.
yeah, that could be an attractive spot to like a player getting shipped in the future, like to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. But speaking about we said like Westbrook hasn't played you know only a handful of games for the Wizards, and we're spinning out. Meanwhile, Houston, looks like they might be turning the corner and on the way up. How do y'all think I can fix the Wizards? Like, what's up with the Wizards right now? We're fucking 3-8, 3-9.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't.
mean, on
I
paper
haven't.
it look good, but
You said it looked good
go
on
ahead.
paper.
The roster
On paper it look good, but go ahead though.
No, I was just saying. I've only really watched like a handful of games this year, and like Westbrook has played in one of those games, and I just don't see like how they can form any type of like early in the season. This dude's sitting out games and stuff. I just don't see how they don't have any identity, and like they won't get one anytime soon because the team just don't seem on the same page. And I feel as though like in order to get better, you got to play together. And like it seems like it's too sporadic where the actual full starting five is on the floor. It's just they have no cohesion. That's just my opinion. So how to fix them? I don't know. They play a lot of perimeter ball from what I see, and they not knocking down shots, and they not playing defense.
So is it a chemistry thing? Is it a personnel thing? Is it a
I think it might
thing?
be. I think it might be chemistry. To me, I think it might be chemistry. It's just they just don't seem like a team. If that makes any sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
they just out there playing.
I think they got the worst They ranked the worst defensive team in the league, so they don't really have no defensive minded guys. I think, obviously, Russ and Steph, they want to. I mean, not Russ. I mean, not Steph, but Russ and Brad, they want to win. But I think, and also they're both stat stuffers too. And then I think outside of that, I mean, they gonna get their buckets, but there's like no true defensive presence. There's no defensive leader on the team. So I think that's probably one of the biggest weaknesses of the team. And outside of that, everybody young, so there's no like veteran presence on the team or anybody that'll like I guess there's no like heart of the team. You know what I'm saying? There's not that one guy that kind of gets them to play hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess from a defensive perspective.
That's what you're saying.
Like they need like a Draymond, what's his name? What's his name from the Celtics? Like a guy like that, like a scrappy person. They need something like that on the team.
Marcus Smart, you said?
Scott Brooks ain't getting it done.
Yeah, he's not getting it done.
Yeah, I agree.
I think at some point you got to start looking at him when you got two, elite players in your back court and your team is still looking. At some point you got to start looking at the coach. Because even if they're not, they're not like a top tier team, you got that two all-star caliber guys in the same backcourt. Like there's no excuse to just be that bad to me,
I think it's like an organizational thing. Like we see Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, and our biggest signing outside of that was Bertans. Like, where's the fucking help? I feel like Ted Leonsis don't put as much emphasis on the Washington Wizards as as he does the Capitals. Like his main focus is the Capitals. So you see us on the cusp, you see us acquiring certain type of level players, and you tweeting and shit like, oh, Russell Westbrook has done this, one's MVP player, a durable player, all that shit. Okay, bring someone else in to help him. Like the Capitals switch coaches, they switch GMs, they switch star players all the fucking time. All the time. They all like if you like get the notifications on your phone, they transactions be bling 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 bling. But the Wizards, they don't give a fuck. And that was like as soon as he acquired him.
Like we had puck drop tonight. And that whole goddamn Caps team is completely different. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And another thing I noticed is that it seems like Ted Leonsis, I don't know how much of influence he has in as far as like the type of players they bring in. But I feel like he's trying to like copy the Dallas Mavericks blueprint on how to build a team. Like, because Dallas has been known for always having these like foreign European star players. They had Dirk for years. Now they got Luka, and they got Porzingis over there. And I kind of feel like the reason why we drafted the guy we just drafted this year, because he probably saw a little bit of Luka in him, thought he was going to get like a similar type player. And even before that, years previous, he was always trying to draft some 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" European dude who was going to drop buckets, and they never paying out. But I kind of feel like there's some sort of obsession with like European players or foreign players with the organization. I don't really know what that's about.
Do you think it's about productivity, or do you think it's about just gaining a more worldwide fan base? Like, it's like a money thing.
I think that's a possibility, because I think they say Rui jersey selling crazy over in Japan.
Yeah,
you know,
is.
like he's like a superstar in Japan. So they probably making a lot of money off Rui, like quietly,
And then we was like one of the few teams last year to go to London. So I think we are trying to like broaden our our international market.
See that?
I mean, the NBA is like, as far as like we will never touch NFL as far as ratings in the United States, but the NBA as far as like a worldwide product, yeah, that's just like constantly climbing. And Adam Silver's making sure of that shit. And they got the Olympics. They pushed that shit back this year. They about to come out of shit with this summer, barring COVID. So yeah, you already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Man. All right, but I don't know. We talking about Ted Leonsis and GMs, and let's go on to football. If you was a GM of your respected team, what would you do in this year's draft? Because like our season is done. I think we ended the season on a great note. It wasn't that pretty. I mean, we was 7-9.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, we've been 7-9 in recent years, but if it felt different this year, I feel like we can, it was like a stepping stone and shit.
Yeah. Even like with the loss, we ended on a good note.
And we also have a first round pick. We have a second round pick, so
right,
we can actually put some, starters on the field within the next year. Like, what would y'all do with these first pick? If you got a second, let me know too.
I'm gonna go with yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it, Brian. You got it.
I was gonna just I just feel as though to piggyback off of what you were saying, Rez, that with our the way that our team is right now, we have a defense, a championship caliber defense, which is a defense that you can win now with. I feel as though that the coaching staff is going to see that, and they're going to go get a veteran in which they can win now with. And what better way to surround that dude with talent on the offensive line? So my first pick would be a no-brainer. If I had my choice, I would definitely take the tackle out of Oregon, Penei Sewell. Just a mammoth of a left tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Rock on steroids.
The Rock is on steroids. What you talking
about? But like the athleticism of this dude, and to have your left tackle, like your blind side, like for the next 10 years possibly, to draft that man. Because the thing about it is he's going to be around for this quarterback, and then let's say whatever vet we pick up, and he may sign a 2-3 year deal, but we'll probably draft another quarterback, and he'll be there to protect his blind side as well. So it's not that's the future. That's the future of the offensive line right there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I agree with that pick as far as offensive line. I think Sewell. I think he's gone in the top 5 though. Like,
I agree.
Like
I know I'm dreaming.
He's highly
I'm dreaming.
Coveted,
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? He's highly coveted. And I agree with you too. I don't think I feel the same way. We got championship college defense. We don't really have time to be developing no quarterbacks. We need to bring somebody that's seasoned, been there, done that, pick up the offense, just run the fucking offense. That's all we need. But with that being said, because I don't think that we're going to probably, get like an elite level quarterback, you need a strong ass running game. Antonio Gibson, he's transitioning to the running back position. I don't think he's an every down back yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think bringing in Najee Harris might actually make a fucking difference, because I do think there's a good chance he will still be around around that time of the draft. So if you have a 1-2 punch with a guy like him, who's more of a like power type back, but he's elusive too. But he seems like he's the type that can every down back type guy, and then you can use Antonio Gibson in more of like the JD McKissic role, where he'll be more of a receiver, but also he'll be running out of the backfield. And that can also then gives you the option of keeping JD, or you don't have to pay him, because I think he only got signed to a 1-year deal, right? So they got, and he had a good year, so they're gonna have to pay his ass. So
I think he likes.
He likes being here. I think he like being here.
That's what I was gonna say. I think he likes.
I like JD. Like don't get me wrong. I wouldn't. I would have no problem. He had like 90 catches and some shit this season. I would keep that. But I feel like just so we don't have to be so dependent on the passing game. I think if bringing in somebody like him to go along with Antonio Gibson, who's also going to a receiving position.
I like that.
Same thing with McKissic. I think that would be a great for the offense. Take a whole lot of pressure off the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lighthouse, I would not be mad if we did that at all.
And then Gibson on his way out said he wants to lose like 15 pounds, so like he's like more explosive and shit. So yeah, he could do that in McKissic role.
Hey, that's that Ron Rivera talking to him like, hey, cuz, look, when I see you this offseason, hey, look, we flying. We about to fly, cuz. We flying. I need
Antonio Gibson's a big though. Yo, he's nice, bro. He just got to get used to the position. But you see, he flashes so much. Yeah. Like every game, you just see a play, you be like, all right, about 3 guys can do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And one thing I can say, he do not look like he's going to be any sort of diva at all. Like the nigga loves football. Like he's just like around. Yeah, but B, I also B, I also agree with you. I think offensive line, especially the tackle position, and if it's a tackle position, it might as well be the left tackle position, because this is our blind side. And seeing the Bama's that played in the last 2 years after Trent Williams, and you can see the gaping. It was just the level of Trent Williams and the people that played after him. It was obvious. So I don't think we're gonna get Sewell, but at 19, I think we can get Christian Dursoff from Virginia Tech Hokie. And this dude is a monster of a person. Big long arms and good size. He's nasty in the run. Like, yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that either.
And then we saying like you want to get a free agent, or maybe trade for a veteran quarterback. Like who do y'all got on your radar for that?
I would not mind like everybody's saying, like maybe like Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but I think you got to trade something to get him. So I don't know about that. I think maybe if like something happens in the first 3 or 4 picks, like Justin Fields go to like the Jets, or something like that. Like he can get like a Sam Darnold or a Matt Ryan even. I don't know. I don't think it'll be wise to trade.
I took Matt Ryan all day. But somebody who might not cost nothing, but still a vet. But I don't know. He kind of like. What about Tyrod Taylor?
Nah, I'm good on Tyrod Taylor.
I would take Tyrod, but I feel like he wouldn't. See, this is what I'm saying. I want to bring the vet where he's the quarterback, no questions asked. I don't want I feel like we're bringing Tyrod. It's going to be a quarterback competition. I want them to sign a guy to be the starter. No, you know what I'm saying? Like it needs to be
even
a
looks like a Phillip Rivers, or Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, like just a respected ass nigga, like you know what I'm saying, who's just gonna come in and just be the guy. Like that's what I want. Like I feel like if we bring a Tyrod, it's gonna be a quarterback battle.
Well, and look, we just need to find a way to get Deshaun Watson.
We've been looking. Oh, what you saying?
I said we just need to find a way to get Deshaun Watson. Like Daniel Snyder just need to make that happen. He just need to make it happen.
Could you imagine? But
you're gonna need to give up 3 or 4 first round picks, and then now we the Houston Rockets.
Do it.
So you just talk shit about the Houston Rockets. You now want to do the same thing.
I know, right? But if we did that, the pressure. if we did that, the pressure on Deshaun Watson would be like ridiculous. I don't even think I want to even deal with all that as a fan. Like,
but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he can.
And the thing is, Bill O'Brien is not there yet, so you're not gonna get the best end of the deal. So you know what I'm saying? The deal is gonna be a little more steeper. Like you're not giving up 2 first rounds for Deshaun Watson, your fucking future. You get him 5 first rounds. And a second.
But
and probably fucking
I'll say another player I think the Skins might want to look at, or the Washington football team might want to look at, possibly in the 2nd or 3rd round at tight end, is Brevin Jordan from Miami. Because I agree. Because we all know the dude from Florida. What's his name?
Kyle Pitts.
From Florida? Kyle Pitts. We all know he gone in the 1st round without a doubt. Like he top 10. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be gone. But Brevin Jordan has receiver speed. He's I don't even want to compare him to OJ Howard, because I would say as an athlete maybe, but OJ Howard ain't really pan out to be that in the league. But he's like that type of athlete where he's people compare him to Evan Ingram, but with better hands. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Evan Ingram hands is trash. They talking about Kyle Pitts going to the Giants, so I don't think they're gonna keep both. Evan Ingram hands is trash, bro.
Yeah, imagine Evan Ingram and Kyle Pitts going to the Giants, and then with Saquon back. Oof. God,
I ain't worried about Evan Ingram at all. But Kyle Pitts, Kyle Pitts, wherever Kyle goes, on tear shit up.
What do y'all think about what's his name? They were saying that the Eagles was going to take what's his name, man? Fucking damn, what's that dude's name? The receiver that from LSU that set out this year, who was
Jamar
the
Chase.
best receiver in college. Jamar Chase. He went to Biletnikoff last year, and he set out all this season. But they saying he still. Some people saying he still might go before Devontae Smith.
I think so too.
I think if Devontae Smith ain't have the Heisman season he had this year, I think it would have been unanimous. Jamar Chase would be the number 1 receiver taken. But the way Devontae Smith played in that national championship game, you know what I'm saying? Just like it's hard to argue against that nigga. He playing against top tier talent. It wasn't like he was playing some scrubs. Nigga had 200 some yards receiving in the first half, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So do you think Devontae Smith, like he's the first receiver to win the Heisman in 91 since 91? Do you think like it's just like the weird quirky year of COVID, or this was deservingly so?
Nah, he earned that shit.
Cause conferences ain't, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, he earned that shit hands down. I mean, and guess what? If
especially
you didn't
with Mac Jones too.
Exactly. If you didn't think that he didn't earn that shit, go back and watch the beginning of that goddamn national championship game. The thing about it is, like I was telling you, Rez, this dude, the defense they go into the game knowing that this dude is a Heisman Trophy wide receiver, and he's one of the best wide receivers on their team and in the whole goddamn in the United States collegiate football. Okay, so you go into the game knowing that we got to take this nigga away. So they triple teamed him, double teamed him, and guess what? He still caught 200 yards in the first half. Like, what are you supposed to like? That tells me that he cannot. He already has that unguardableness in him. Like, you cannot guard me.
Who would y'all compare him to?
I would say like Marvin Harrison, like a more athletic Marvin Harrison. You know,
I would say that I agree, and they say the thing about him is that it's his. They say he covers ground. It's like his route running. He covers so much ground on the corner so fast when he goes into his first break. You know what I'm saying? It's like when they trying to adjust to his speed, he already in his first break. You know what I'm saying? They said that's how they said that's what makes him so special. He covers so much ground. So I guess he accelerates so goddamn fast. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he doesn't have like 4.3 speed either. You know what I'm saying? But
you're right, because he runs a 4.7, Marcus.
On field speed. You said what?
I said you're right. He doesn't have a 4.3 speed. He runs a 4.27. I looked it up.
Oh, he does. He runs a 4. I didn't know that. I thought he was slower than that.
He runs a 4.27. That's ridiculous, yo.
You know what's also impressive? He didn't play with Jalen Waddle for most of the year. so he didn't have somebody else taking the pressure off him. I mean, even though everybody on Alabama is tough, but he didn't have like the number 2 or / number 1 guy playing with him. So yeah, he went off.
Actually, Jalen Waddle was supposed to be the number 1 this season. Like Devontae was the number 2 receiver going into the season. Jalen Waddle was like the star. If you actually look at all like the mock drafts, everybody had Jalen Waddle going before Devontae Smith. But remember last year, and I know a lot of people,
he could fall at 19.
They may not know, but Devontae Smith was still known last year. Like this nigga was still in first round pick in mock drafts last year. So I mean, this nigga like he ain't come out of nowhere. You know?
You're right. I think he just went Super Saiyan. He was like, all right, let me.
He just went Super Saiyan. That's basically all. Every damn time I turn on the TV, this is 40-yard something. You know what I'm saying? 40-yard touchdown. Just every week, every fucking week.
And it don't even look like hard. It just makes shit look
like he's
easy.
Trying.
Yeah, that shit is so effortless.
So, yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive, and I'm glad to see that finally, like a non-quarterback,
absolutely,
back for once wins the Heisman. It just it makes it feel like it's more fair game for other guys. So I just like that they switched it up this year. I like that. So I thought that was a good thing.
I like it too.
But when I heard him say since '91, I was like, what? And I had to like think and like, yeah, I guess so.
That is a long ass time though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking about Desmond Howard, and then that college to NFL jump wasn't that good. So how do y'all think this college to NFL jump is going to go with Urban Meyer being named Jacksonville Jaguars head coach?
I don't know,
man.
I don't know.
I really have no idea.
I want him to do great, but like, god damn, like that's a tough roster to build back up. Because remember, they had like all that talent on defense. They had Jalen Ramsey, they had AJ Bouye, they had Dante Fowler, they had that D line, they had Telvin. Like that defense was the heart of that team, and then you bring an Urban Meyer and the talent is depleted and shit. Like, are they going to give him the chance to build the team up?
I think
are they going to keep Jay Gruden as offensive coordinator? Are they, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to draft? Are they going to draft Trevor Lawrence, or he's going to draft his man Justin Fields? Like, okay, I want to make sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I was like,
that part.
So what's he going to do?
Are they going to have like a run and gun offense, or are they going to have? I mean, Trevor Lawrence supposed to be like the prototypical pro football, you know what I mean, offense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But are they going to have the running?
I think it do both. I think they're going to use that. They're going to use that in the league. I think that's part of what attracted Urban Meyer to him, because Urban Meyer liked those kind of mobile quarterbacks, and I think Trevor Lawrence can move a little bit. So I can definitely see him running that Florida offense, that Ohio State offense. Because if you look at Florida and Ohio State, it's always a mobile quarterback. Like, I think the last time he had a quarterback that wasn't mobile was like Cardell Jones or some shit. I don't even think it was Urban Meyer left Ohio State at that point, I think, right? But I think even before that, or I don't know if y'all remember Chris Leak from Florida. I think that might have been like the last like pocket quarterback he had. Other than that, all his quarterbacks after that was like all mobile quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Or does the the owner, the Indian dude, what's his name? Some Khan. Like, is he gonna put the pressure to make him draft Trevor Lawrence? I mean, Trevor Lawrence has got to be the first pick.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
But the Ohio State connection with Justin Fields, I don't know. It's interesting. So that's the only reason
I can see that.
I also think that I don't think that the Jags. I think we're making I think that they're a better team than what you're saying them to be.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just think that it was a lot of games last year where they were in a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until like towards like the end of the season you could tell like, all right, niggas just checked out. But in the beginning of the season, they was playing pretty good ball. They just weren't winning no games. We was doing the same thing, but you know what I'm saying? We wind up in the playoffs. They just so happen to be in the AFC where Bama's is like, you got to be like an 11, 12-win team to make the playoffs now. So AFC just coming up, yo, and it's going to be tough.
I feel like they said an area, but then like NFC rip off a couple championships. So, yeah, I mean,
but I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on the Urban Meyer going there because them college coaches majority of the time don't really do too good going to the league. So we'll see. I mean, I like Urban Meyer as a college coach, but we'll see. All I can say is that we'll just see what happens once you go.
You're right. Like, what's the last college coach to make a jump that really made a real run? And I want to say
right?
Chip Kelly. Yeah, I want to say Chip Kelly. Then he got pushed out like immediately after.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that was a weird.
Kingsbury. I mean, he started good, but
so far,
yeah,
the jury's still out on his shit.
Right, it's just not built for playoff football.
Are you talking about Arizona?
I think the key thing though with a lot of these coaches is that when they get the opportunity to join the team and then choose their quarterback and then build their entire team around the quarterback, that's a different, situation. So I think that's part of what attracted Urban Meyer to that job because I'm going to basically take him as a puppy and mold his ass to the quarterback that I want him to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't got to worry about nothing else. This nigga raw. He new to the league, and then I can build my every receiver I draft is for him. Every running back I draft is for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the idea. So I think that's probably why he did that because that's basically what Kingsbury did.
Yeah.
I agree. We'll see though. We'll see because guess what? The AFC is they ain't those stars and those powerhouse teams over there ain't going nowhere because you got Buffalo coming up, you got Kansas City already established. It's a rack of teams you're gonna have to get through.
And they all got their core. They got young quarterbacks. Bills, Ravens, Chiefs. Those teams gonna be good for a minute.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The Chargers.
Chargers now too. Hey, I thought Anthony Lynn got fired too prematurely though. I didn't like that shit.
For sure.
All the coaches that got fired.
For sure.
Because then he got fired with a winning record. He got fired with a winning record. I've seen a lot of coaches in this league just be absolute garbage. Still get opportunities like Jay Gruden. Anthony Lynn, at least he had a winning record and his team seemed to respond to him. They ended the season strong. He found his quarterback for the future. Like this is the time to start building on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, now the ball really. And then I think with last year they went 12-4 or some shit, right? Or something like that. But then they what they do last season? Then they have like a real good record the year before. Or am I tripping?
I think it was with Phillip Rivers. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that. But so I don't know. I thought that shit. I didn't think he deserved to get fired at all. Like out of all the coaches, I think he was the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Doug Peterson too? I thought that shit was a little too early too.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous.
That shit was wild.
I'm glad. It seemed like he won it out though. They said that he was just basically tired of the atmosphere. Balance was trying to tell him how to coach and run his team. He said it. So it makes sense. Like when we played them, he was just like, that was just a fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna take old boy out the game and put the third or fourth string in. I don't know. It was just a weird exit. But yeah, go ahead.
I think he lost the locker room. Like I think maybe he just lost the locker room to the point where it was so ugly where they felt like they ain't had no choice.
Like I mean, but like what did like I understand like did the Eagles think that they was gonna win that game? Like just off him pulling Jalen Hurts? Like Jalen Hurts wasn't doing shit. The nigga had 72 yards of offense. I mean 72 yards passing like in the fourth quarter. They automatically think that was a win because Jalen Hurts was playing.
I mean, yeah, and Jalen Hurts was making plays, but it wasn't like he was like, he didn't look like a superstar. He just looked like a guy with a lot of potential, like a quarterback with potential. That's how he looked.
Right.
I think the only people complaining was like Giants fans.
Yeah, I mean, I was loving it. I was like, oh, okay, I know this guy. We had him on our roster.
Oh, Sudfeld.
I know this guy. I know what he can do. We're good.
Actually played better with us too.
he was a lot more mobile. He got a cannon though.
He did.
He got a cannon.
Nate Sudfeld, whole ass. But B, you was talking about the AFC teams. The Ravens and the Titans with the whole logo shit, right? Do you think that's good for football?
Yeah.
That's good for football? Do you think is too highlighted? Not shaking hands, the whole midfield shit. I don't know who started this shit.
I just think that's football, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been around since the beginning of football, and it ain't going nowhere. You got Bama's. First of all, Bama's was talking shit the whole week before. They was going back and forth, coaches too, and it was just it got heated. And at the end of the game, like I don't need to shake your hand. I don't need to acknowledge you, especially after I've won. I'm going back to the locker room with my dub. Like y'all was talking shit, and I mean it's just football. Like let's not make it seem like they do this every single week. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what the Ravens do every single week. But for this game, in the playoffs, when Bama's was talking shit, we won. I'm headed to the locker room. It's nothing more, nothing less about it. It's football, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and a lot of times guys they use that shit to like, you know, just to give them that extra edge, that, you know, that extra little bit of emotion that might, you know, push them, you know, just to play harder and just make the game, you know, play with more passion. So, you know, you playing a big competitive, passionate game like that, the game over. So you still got those, you know, those feelings inside you. So you like fuck them niggas when the game is over. Because if you didn't have that fuck them niggas attitude, you probably 1-1. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why they feel that way. You know, it's competition, it's playoff football. So I understand.
Right.
You know, I mean, ideally you would like the guys to show sportsmanship. You know, but I understand. I get it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not like they did. It's not like the Ravens was from week one. They just wasn't shaking hands with the other team. No, this was the first time because of the game. Like you said, Marcus, the emotion, everything behind it. I'm Gucci. Like you go your way, I'll go my way.
It was a personal game. Yeah, the shit was personal, man. You know, they beat the Ravens last year, and then everybody was talking, "Oh, Lamar can't do this. Lamar can't do that." He the leader of the team, so you know whatever Lamar was feeling, his team was feeling. You know, it was just like that, as simple as that. And that's a good sign, young, when your team rallies behind you like that. Like you can clearly see, like he is like the leader of that team. Like you can clearly see that shit. You know.
And who Baltimore played this week?
They play. Hold on. They played They played a bit. No, they don't play the Bills. See, the Bills play. Wait, the Browns play the Chiefs and the Ravens play the Bills, right?
I think so.
I think the Browns and the Chiefs play.
Man, that's going to be the game of the week.
That's a game.
That's
right
going to be the game of the week. That's going to be the game of the week.
Ravens and the Bills. That's going to be a game.
I honestly think the Ravens can get this jump.
I think so too.
I think the Ravens can get all the way to the Super Bowl. Only because the Chiefs' defense don't really. If the Ravens and Chiefs meet up, and the Ravens can keep the Chiefs off the field, just keep that running game going, and just play that time of possession game, they can beat the Chiefs.
J.K. Dobbins, man, you know, he's ripping off 6 yards of carry as a running back. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what you were saying, Marcus. Pick up a running back. You can, because if you add another explosive running back to the mix, it's just you like, all right, because not only do we got to worry about McKissick, because you can put both of those guys on the field because of the way that Antonio Gibson is. It's just scary.
And like you said, they put Gibson in that slot, he lose a bit of weight, and they actually start lining him up at receiver positions. Because I remember at one game after, like earlier in the season, they was like, "Yeah, we thought we was gonna see you lining up at receiver a little bit more," and he was like, "Yeah, I thought I was too." So you can tell he kind of wants to play in the slot a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man.
I'm looking forward to next year.
I feel real good about the direction of the team.
Yeah,
we finally got some weapons for once, man. We got McLaurin, Gibson. Like we actually have some legit fucking weapons for once, you know.
I hope that Hardman comes back healthy, because I felt like he was missed.
Kelvin Harmon.
Yeah, Kelvin Harmon. I felt like he was missed Especially and I think who missed him the most? Dwayne Haskins.
He did, yeah.
Yep.
Dwayne Haskins missed that dude. That was his guy. That was his guy in the zone, in the coverage. They had a connection.
That was his bread and butter.
That's his that was like his safety receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
And he was tough as shit. You know?
Right.
Like
he was catching them joints over the middle. Pause. But yeah. Well, I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
But yeah, the Ravens and shit, like what did you expect them to do? Like y'all beat them last year. And then y'all beat them beginning of this year. And this year when it counted in the playoffs and they beat y'all, what did y'all expect to happen? Like,
I mean, it's a rivalry, man. I mean, like, what do you want? That's good for football.
Of course,
that's good for football. It makes good football.
Yeah, of course they're gonna do that. Yeah. I just like when the coaches got into it, Vrabel and Harbaugh.
Yeah, I love. Hey,
that shit was funny.
You know what coach goes the hardest though? And Dan Mullen from Florida, yo, that nigga. Wilding, bro.
He be with the shits, yeah.
He be with the shits, like he be damn near on the field ready to fight niggas. Like he be getting hyped. Like Dan Mullen gets hyped. Like he's.
I don't know why I think he just bring a hat to the game just to rip that joint off and just just shake that joint.
Oh,
Mullen be. That nigga be getting hyped.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll never remember that game, that playoff game when the Ravens did play the Steelers a couple years back, and was it John Harbaugh? One of the coaches tried to dab up the other coach, and he kind of just like pushed them out the way. Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah,
remember that shit? That was like one of the funniest post game joys ever. Oh no, it was the Lions coach. I think the Lions.
Oh, Schwartz. It was Schwartz. It was Schwartz when Schwartz was over there.
Yeah, and it was what's his name? When he was
John Harbaugh
before he went to Michigan.
Harbaugh
before he went to Michigan. Yeah. They beat the Lions in the playoffs. And the Lions coach came to dap him up, and he just mushed this nigga. Yeah. Like, he pushed him and just like
he shook his hand and
like
moved nigga. Like
just moved him out the way. He didn't even look at nigga. He ain't look him in the eye or nothing. He just straight up just moved him out the way. Like that shit was hilarious, dog.
Speaking of John Harbaugh, like this nigga has the longest leash of any fucking like coach, college, whatever. Like this nigga has the longest like leash. Like this Michigan is like a story franchise. Like what? How is he still there? John Harbaugh,
because of his name, probably.
I don't know how he's doing it.
He's kind of a celebrity coach. You know what I'm saying?
And then like his losses don't be like losses. They be getting they fucking ass dragged. That should be terrible.
Yeah, they do. They be ugly. They be having some ugly ass losses. So I don't know. And then they just signed him to an extension, right?
I hope not.
I think they did. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm like about 75% sure he got signed to an extension.
That's wild. I hope they didn't do that shit. Yeah, but I can't wait for college football to be like back. Yeah. And you know, a podcast never take any losses is the Flight Room Podcast or the fifth quarter. The fifth quarter podcast. We'll be out here talking sports, giving you the real deal. Fuck with us. Our merch. We got merch coming soon. Flight Room Podcast merch, fifth quarter podcast merch. It's all available to you. Just hit the fucking link in the bottom. Chat, wrap us up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna catch you on a flip. Flight Room Podcast. I'll holla.
Deuces.
All right, we holla at y'all. Peace.
All right.
Yeah.